we as people, we have so many gifts that everybody has a gift. And we are all here and we are all connected, regardless of our race or who we politically vote for or how much money anyone makes. There's a unity and there's a connection, and we all can heal and we can raise our vibration and we are empowered. We just have to remember that.
Hi, I'm Koya Webb, and welcome to the show. We're here with Heather Askinosie, founder of Energy Muse, and I'm just so honored. I had her on an IGTV, and it went just off the chain with questions about crystals and how you really help people elevate their lives with crystals.
Oh, you're so nice. Thank you.
Well, and we're going to dive deep because she really didn't get an opportunity to really share her story that she shared with me personally, and which is why I quickly fell in love with her. And I'm just like, wow, I have to have this woman on my podcast.
Oh, thank you.
And so can you just share with the community how you got started, just who you are and how you got started?
Okay. I was selling real estate in Manhattan Beach, and I had a client that came in and he said, I want to buy houses that have good feng shui. And at the time, I'm like, what is feng shui? Which is really the balance of energy in an environment. And while I was selling real estate and learning a little bit about energy in homes, I was making a lot of money. Things were going great. I had a place on the beach. I was living in California. I had great clothes, I had a great car, I had amazing friends. But there was something that just was empty. I didn't feel happy, even though on paper it looked really good, but I didn't feel content. I always felt as if nothing would satisfy me, and it just wasn't going anywhere. And so I ended up stopping selling real estate, and I started traveling around the world with the money that I made. And I would go and study with healers and indigenous people. And at that time, my friends and my family thought I was just crazy and insane because they're like, why would you ever leave a good paying job? You know, you were doing well. Why would you leave that? And at that time, I have to say it was lonely because no one really got me. And what was worse is that I didn't even get me. And so, you know, it was at a time where I think I was around 29. Everyone's like, are you going to get married? What are you doing? You know? Right. And it was that fork in the road where was I going to do what I was supposed to do? Or was I going to do and learn about who I was, the good, the bad, and the ugly? And sometimes I have to say it wasn't the most fun part of my life, but it was maybe the richest part of my life because it was the first step where I started knowing who I was and what made me happy and what I wanted versus what I was told to want or expected to behave like.
Right. And when did you start feeling that? When you started traveling, was there a specific ceremony or moment where you're like, ooh, this feels good. This feels way different than what I've been doing?
Yeah. I mean, I think what happened for me is when I went to the big island of Hawaii and I was studying with this woman and she laid all these crystals on me and I just started crying. And it was almost as if I'd been cracked open. And it was like I was starting to heal because I was feeling for maybe the first time because I kept it together and I was, you know, marching along and doing all these things. But I don't know if I ever took note of how I really felt. And when I started studying with crystals and I studied so many things, for me, it was really important because I was really strung tight. I mean, type A, let's go. We got to do this, make money, blah, blah, blah.
I think what you said before that had me laughing was triple A.
Triple
I was like,
A,
I never heard someone say they are triple A personality.
Type A. And, and you know what? It wasn't really getting me anywhere. I felt like I was, you know, going in circles. So for me, the thing with crystals was when I first got attracted to them, it wasn't because of an energy thing. I didn't know anything about that. This was 8 years ago, and nobody was talking about energy of crystals. But what I did like is that I liked what they looked like. And for me, I liked that they came from different parts of the world. Like I'd pick one up and one was from Africa, or I'd pick one up and it was from Brazil. And I like that diversity. I like that they all looked different. And for me at the beginning with crystals, it was a visual thing. But then what happened was I used to like hold one because I'd go out and it just helped me feel like I had something to hold on to when I was scared, or if I didn't know what was going on, or if I was getting anxiety. It was a touchstone for me. And that's really where my journey started. It was really simple as that.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's beautiful. And you mentioned feng shui. So what is feng shui, and how can people use that to in their lives?
Okay. So what was interesting is when I very first started feng shui, one of the things is I was kind of known as the love guru, in the fact that I knew how to go into bedrooms and help shift the energy. And there's a couple cool things that everyone can do. And so what I noticed is that when women were wanting to have love in their life, or have more love, I would go into the house, and most women would always have pictures of single women in their house. It's really interesting. And so I ask any of you who are looking for love to take a look at what pictures are on your wall. And so usually there was a lot of pictures of landscapes or flowers or just women. Right. And so what happened is that when we want to start opening ourselves up to love, we need to look at the pictures on our wall. Another simple thing is a lot of times if someone has a bed and it's against a wall, and you have room that you can move it, where people could get in on both sides. So sometimes that's a big shift. And also there's just little things, and just the colors that you have in your room, and is your room cluttered, and is there lots of stuff going on? So it's these little things in our environment that affect our human environment. And when we make changes on the outside, then we start making changes on the inside of ourselves. So I love feng shui because it shows how our environment is a mirror, really, of what's going on with us.
I love that. So if I'm trying to attract a man, space on both sides of my bed.
Yes.
I need pictures of Common and Bosch Cujo.
Exactly.
And all these men, these beautiful, strong men.
Two people together.
Two people together.
So what you
not
want to
just
do,
a man.
Well, ideally, what I like to do is either you could have a heart in your room, or you could have maybe a silhouette of two people embracing.
Okay.
So until you bring
love.
So you want to have pictures that depict love, but with two people, not just one. And so I also say that a couple times if you can, try not to have too many of your friends and family in the bedroom, because usually that means that they're really involved in your life. Have them in the living room, have them in the kitchen, the pictures, but don't have tons of pictures of your friends and family in the bedroom.
Okay, guys. So I need Michelle Obama and Barack and Jay-Z and Beyonce.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Got you.
Yes.
I'm following.
Right. They're loving relationships.
Yeah.
That's perfect. Exactly.
Awesome. Well, that is beautiful and inspiring. And that's one thing I love about you. Give us practical tools that we can really start using now. So we really want to know, of course, how these crystals, and you own this huge warehouse, right? How big is this warehouse?
You know what? We sell all over the world. We have distributors all over the world, but our warehouse is in Torrance in California, and we have just tons and tons and tons of crystals. So it's not really open to the public. We have a small area in the front where people could come in and make some beads, but the rest of the warehouse is definitely with crystals. And it's a nice size.
Wow, that's
Absolutely.
amazing. So we kind of want to dive into, because I'm really passionate about how we can use crystals to really charge our chakras. Okay. So I kind of want to get into each chakra and how the crystals that you suggest to use them, and then also want to talk about just how you generally charge your crystals and pick your crystals and things like that.
Okay. So with the thing with the chakras, because they're wheels of energy, each chakra is associated with a color. So the first chakra is associated with like reds, the real rich red. So in regards to crystals, you can use any crystal that you like that is either red or, so garnets are this really rich kind of ruby kind of color. And then you have, you could also use black. So you could use black tourmaline. So I want everyone to let them know that there's not only one crystal that you can use with each chakra. So the thing why I think it's so cool to work with crystals in the chakras is because if your first chakra is about security and foundation, and you are wanting to maybe get find a job,
right,
or get stable with something in your life. You can use the crystals, and all you need to do is you could hold them over that part of your body and kind of give yourself some energy of, what is it that I want to have a stronger foundation of? And usually what I like to do, and there's so many amazing ways to work with the chakras, but I find that when we are able to identify what's holding us back, or we're able to identify what is stuck,
right,
and we're able to release it, everything opens up. So that's why I like to work with the crystals, because crystals help to move energy, and they help to unlock what either is no longer serving us or what's keeping us stuck.
Beautiful. So what would you say the top 3 crystals for your root chakra would
Okay.
be? In your life? It could be your personal.
Okay, and once again, like I said, if you have other crystals that you want to use, please use them. But I like to use either a red jasper. I like to use a garnet. I like to use black tourmaline or a hematite. I like to use these like really grounding onyx, these, rich, earthy, really rooted kind of stones.
I'm just going to take her black tourmaline, put it in my lap. Since we have it here, I'm just going to absorb some of that power. Is that okay?
God, I love it. Exactly.
Chill with it because it's calling me.
Yeah, but I mean, it could be as simple as that. Like just how you picked it up and you just put it there. That I think sometimes people get so afraid with crystals, like, oh, I don't know what to do. I don't know where to start.
Right.
And I really do believe that we all innately, we are all healers. You know what I mean? We all have that wisdom within us. And so trust yourself.
Right.
Pick up the energy of the earth and place it on your body and feel it.
Right.
That's where you start.
I agree.
Feel it. Feel what's going on with you. And that's empowering.
It's powerful.
Because then we know that we have the ability to be part of our own healing process. We don't have to always give it away to somebody else.
Right.
We can take that time for ourselves, and we could start doing some of our own work.
I love it. I love it. So, and that's what, as we go through and move on to the next chakra, I like how you give us, like, we know that we have to choose what vibes with us, but I think you as a guide, because you've worked with them so much, it's really exciting. I know when I get started, I'm just like, I'm all over the place, right? And so a little bit of guidance kind of gets me there, and then I'm able to follow my own intuition.
Yes.
So I love that you give people permission, like, hey, these are my tips, but also find what vibes with you. That's so good.
I feel like that for me in the healing world that we're all in right now in wellness, I think that we all do need to have permission, because we all are different. We've all grown up different. We've all been told different things. And so we have the instructions or the guides, but then at some point we need to take the ownership to be our own guide with all this information, because it could be overwhelming. So definitely. So these are tips. These are tips. So the second chakra is associated with the color orange. And so once again, I think you had mentioned is that you want to have your chakra spinning in the right direction. So a lot of times there's people that are like, I feel creatively stifled, if you're a musician or a writer, or somebody who is having problem intimacy because maybe they had been abused, or just a lot of holding shame, holding blame. All this energy, sometimes we get stuck in this bottom part of our stomach. And so these stones, the carnelians, are beautiful, like what you're wearing right now. Absolutely perfect, gorgeous, beautiful.
And that's another thing, that you can wear the colors as well. Crystals are powerful, but just I like to wear different colors of the chakras that I'm trying to really manifest in a strong and powerful way. Like if I feel like I really need to get some energy in this wheelhouse, I'll just start wearing the color more often.
And look, it's beautiful on you.
Thank you.
Different colors definitely have different feelings. So once again, if women are trying to attract love, another secret tip is try to wear pinks and whites and light colors over your chest.
I love it.
That really helps. So that's another one. And what I like to do when you're first working with crystals is keep it super simple, and even like lay on your bed and just lay it on top of it and put your hand over it and have a connection and just start feeling it. Even if you did it for 3 minutes, you will feel a shift. And
so place it on the corresponding chakra.
Exactly. And just place it there. And then if you want to go deeper, you could always ask yourself, what is it, something, being quiet, listening, what's coming up for me right now, what's something that I want to kind of go deeper in, or what do I want to expand upon. It's really, once again, the crystals are a tool, but you're the one driving it.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
So you're
absolutely.
in control. It's the crystal. It's not the other way around.
And I know you mentioned in the beginning that you had the crystals lined up on you. You were lying down and you had this huge emotional experience.
Yeah.
Have you had any other experience working with one or a specific crystal where you've had like a revelation or experience that was very powerful to you?
Yeah. Okay. So it happened actually last night. So.
Oh, wow.
So, yesterday at work, there was a lot going on, and it was this mind-blowing day, and there was this meetings. And I remember when I came home, I was so in my head and out of my body. I walked in, I couldn't even engage with my family. My husband's like, "What's up?" And I'm like, "Ugh," And it was like I had to go and take a bath, and it's like I had to stop. And I like selenite. I want to bring this because I think if there's a crystal that every human being should use, it's this one. And I ended up, I went into my room and I laid with this on my body, and I almost felt all the pressure, everything melts away. And all I was doing was laying there, and I had this on me. I was, it wasn't like I was trying to meditate or trying to do anything or journal. I just was like being with myself. But sometimes when there's so much going on in your head, that's not always easy to do.
Right.
So I liked the grounding force, but I almost felt like it brought me back in my body again. It got me present because I was so in my head. It wasn't serving anyone. Does that make sense? Have you ever been there?
Oh yeah, I've definitely been there because you're an entrepreneur, so you're trying to do all these things, but all these things in the world are outside of ourselves. Yeah, and sometimes we forget to tune in. And I do think crystals are a beautiful way to bring it back. But this one, honey, I've never had one this big. This is huge.
So this one's a bit bigger, but sometimes I like it just because of the weight of it.
Right,
and so it's almost like I felt like it was. This white light was kind of infusing my entire body. And I can't really explain it. And I ask people to just try it because you do feel different. And it wasn't as if I was trying to meditate or do anything else. I wasn't doing anything.
Just lying there.
Yeah.
And this is a huge cleanser of other crystals, correct? How does that work?
It just, what happens is I think just the mineral structure of it and just how it is that it's white light. A lot of people say that it's one of the highest vibrational stones that exists on our planet right now. Wow. It's, one of the top 10. And so what happens is that sometimes when we get in our head or we get dense and everything seems so heavy, we need to lighten up. Right. And this crystal really helps to kind of fill you up with light. Turn the light back on.
Definitely got some good energy.
Yeah, it feels good.
It's powerful.
Yeah, it feels really good.
I love big crystals because it has even more energy.
Yeah.
I travel a lot, so I carry with, but that is a lot of energy.
Yeah.
Whoa.
So it's definitely, it's a good one. So, and I think the next one that a lot of women or people talk to me about is that what can I do to increase my willpower? How come I just want to have a lot more, inner strength, and how am I going to stay committed to something? It's easy. A lot of people are like, I could start and do something for 3 days, but for 10 days every single day, that seems a little much. So yellow is associated with that chakra. And so yellow stones, something like citrine or yellow jaspers, anything that is yellow, you could put on that. And that helps
you just put on your solar plexus.
On your solar plexus. And that helps to strengthen your willpower and your commitment level. Because I think we talked about this before. If there's one big secret, it's about consistency. That's just whatever it is that you want to do, just be consistent with it. Right. And then it eventually makes it a habit and makes it part of your life.
And we really don't see that crystal as much as like the top 10 or the common crystals, like the yellow jasper or anything. But I think we can just bring that to the forefront because we all need more willpower and consistency.
Everybody does. Everybody does.
I'm voting for that one in a starter kit.
Exactly. And we have a starter kit that has all these in them.
Nice.
Okay. And so then the next one is your heart chakra. And the heart chakra is associated associated with both green and pink. And that's all about the energy of love. It's the energy of self-love and also forgiveness. And so a lot of people, if they're healing from a broken heart, or if they want to attract more love, or that they want to love themselves more, these are the stones. So you either could use, any pink stones, the rose quartz, the rhodonites, and then you have green stones, the aventurines, the malachites, anything that's green you could lay over your heart.
That's beautiful.
And so one stone that I think is really cool is this one, the black one. And this one is rainbow obsidian, and this is great for grief.
That's my new favorite. You gave it to me the other day, and I was just like, okay.
It's just, I just think that actually we all could use it, because I think it definitely helps with forgiveness. And sometimes forgiveness comes with forgiving ourselves.
Right. Right. It's so true. I think that forgiveness piece, because we all are trying to figure it out. And we're going to do some things right and some things wrong, but forgiveness of ourselves will help us better forgive others.
Yeah, because we're just all on the planet here trying to do the best we can, and we have to sometimes give ourselves a break. We could be really hard on ourselves.
I'm getting a whole stash over here. I love it. I love it.
And then we have for the throat chakra, which is associated with the color blue. So you have lapises, you have turquoises, you have chrysocolla.
I love that turquoise.
Yeah,
Look at that.
Well, that one's chrysocolla, yeah.
Oh, this is chrysocolla?
Yeah.
Wow.
That looks absolutely, that looks
right here.
Gorgeous on you.
Make a necklace out of this.
No, you have to.
Really?
I'm not even kidding you right now.
It feels
that
good
looks
too.
Amazing. So, you put it over, and that, sometimes if you're about to do public speaking, or you want to say something to a loved one or a brother or a sister or a coworker, and you're like, I don't have the guts. I don't know. I don't want to start a conflict. This one helps to open up your truth. This one helps you to speak from a place of love instead of mental, this is what I'm thinking. And this helps you just kind of really express yourself from a higher frequency.
Wow, I love that. I used to have a point in my life where I would get hoarse a lot. And I think it was because I wasn't speaking my truth and speaking up for myself. I haven't had it recently, but I imagine if I had these crystals around that time, it would have helped me. But what helped me the most is just actually speaking my truth. I could not speak until I spoke my truth and let my voice be heard. My voice completely went away.
That's
amazing.
And
it happened for about a year.
Wow.
Anytime I would be holding my voice or not, and I would just lose my voice. And it's almost like if you don't want to use it, you'll lose it. And I was in fear of not speaking. I now speak up all the time.
Well, you're brave. How do you feel that you embrace bravery? I mean, it takes a lot of bravery to do that.
It really does. And confidence and self-confidence. I think I was in a point where I was getting to know myself. I mean, have you ever felt, I guess from your transition, you had to get to know yourself in a new way. Yeah. Because you weren't this real estate woman anymore. Right. You are now this energy worker. Right. So how was that to transition and just identify with this new identity for you?
Well, it's about stepping into it. You know what I mean? And it takes layers. And, there were times when I was when I had more confidence, where I'm like, I'm going to own it. And then there were some things that I wasn't ready to own yet. And so I wasn't ready to step into it until maybe 5 years later.
Right.
So it's interesting. I think we all have to remember we all have our own timing, and what timing might work for somebody else might not be our journey. Right. And we have to be okay with that and honor that within ourselves, that we're on our own plans.
Right.
That's beautiful. Really do.
So beautiful.
Okay, so the next one is your third eye, your intuition. And this one I love to do. This one's great if you are ready to go to bed. Right. And you just want to kind of decompress for the day. Once again, you could just lay there and you could just put it over your third eye. And what it does is it kind of helps to clear away the whole day. And this is another starter stone for most people. It's very affordable. It's purple. It's pretty.
And you're purple today too.
Oh, yeah. I
vibrating.
So it's
intuition.
Just intuition. Trusting your instincts. When you think something or meet someone for the first time, or just any of those gut reactions, and think and really trust yourself, because usually when you think back and you didn't trust yourself, it usually ends up not always working out.
Right. So true. And I can vouch for that because a lot of times I didn't follow my intuition. I was like, I should have listened to myself the first time. And now I'm learning just to follow. And I have a lot of amethyst because it's just a constant reminder for me, follow. And I keep it in my purse and I have a little stone in my wallet and it's just a reminder, follow your intuition. Follow your intuition.
That's good. And it's a good stone for business too.
Oh,
it's a great stone for.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So so for prosperity and abundance, amethyst is a great stone. Aventurine is the stone of luck, and it has this really positive energy about it. Also, malachite is really good for. So your green stones are also good if you're wanting to attract prosperity,
right?
And also, citrine is a great stone to carry if you're wanting to attract.
I love it.
Abundance.
I didn't want every crystal in the world.
Well, they're so fun. They're all so fun. They all do fun things. And then the very top one is quartz crystal. And I love quartz crystal because sometimes I use it when I look at it and I'm like, you know what? When I want more clarity in my life.
Right.
And what's so great about crystals is even if you don't know anything about them and you look at them, they almost tell you what they do. It's not, Mother Nature is really not complicated. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's so simple and we sometimes make it really confusing. So that's about connection to getting clear, to connection to something bigger than yourself.
Right.
Whatever that is. And so connecting with that within your own heart and with your own soul.
That is so beautiful. That is so beautiful. All these crystals are beautiful. Your story is beautiful. And I just want to share with you, you to share with, us in the community, what would you do? Like, you're just getting started. You don't know much about crystals. You really can't get all 3, 4, or all 7 for all the chakras. How would a person go about picking a crystal that they can just start with?
Well, I think sometimes what's nice to start with is, what is it that you want? Right now, whether is it more confidence? Is it more love? Usually we all kind of know what we want or what we want to work on or what we want to bring into our life. And if we can identify that, then we could go to the crystal. So for example, if someone's working on money, then maybe working with a citrine, which is good about attracting wealth. Or if somebody is wanting to work on opening love, then let's work on a heart chakra. Let's go to a rose quartz. And I think what is really great if you're just starting is start with one. Because there's so many crystals and you've got plenty of time, but it's just like a friend. You're not going to, when you first meet someone on your first meeting, you'll know them, but only through phone calls and going out to lunch and spending time to them do you get to know them. Right. Does that make sense? So if you have so many at the beginning, you never really get to know what one crystal feels like or what it feels like and does for you. Right. Kind of connect with it before you move on. And then that way it's not overwhelming and you build your collection over time once you've kind of learned what you want to learn with that crystal.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. And I know I had a lot of people ask, because we did our IGTV, how do you clean them? Some people wash them, don't wash them, put them out in the sun, put them out in the moon. What are your suggestions for cleansing? I think that there's many ways. Right. And so if any of you guys have your favorite way, trust yourself and always do your favorite way. I always like to, I know that when a crystal, for example, needs to be cleansed is sometimes they'll feel heavy, or if I've been wearing it in my bra or I've been working with it a lot, I'll just maybe in a couple weeks, I'll put it outside if I can. And some people can put it on a deck or whatnot. But if you don't, you don't have you have a place that doesn't have that ability, what I like to do is just put it and clear it with sound. So I'll put on my iPhone, I'll put like Tibetan singing bowls, or I'll do like clearing mantras or something like that. And then I'll put my phone there and I'll put my crystal by it and I'll have it sound clear. That's beautiful.
So it's time effective. It's not you can do it in a few minutes. You could get in the shower and put your crystal there and put some sound, and you could clear it that way too.
That's really
so beautiful. There's the sun and there's the moon and there's sound. So
I love that.
Very simple ways to do it.
So awesome. And then charging your crystals. That's another thing that people talk about. How do you charge your crystals?
So, for example, for me, it's about intention. So, and I like to, I really like to keep a lot of this stuff simple because it just, if it's not, then we're not going to do it. And then it's like, oh God, there's one more thing that I have to do. And it's like, do we, any of us need one more thing that we have to do? So say, for example, you get a new crystal and say you've decided you want to work with love. All you have to do is you hold it in your hand. You could think it out loud. You could whatever. And you're like, I programmed this crystal for love. Bam. Now, there could be other people who want to add a whole barrage of things. And that's fine. And the reason why you program your crystal is, say, for example, and then you put it down on your nightstand. You go out and somebody says something mean to you and you get in a bicker with a loved one or whatever, and you come home and you are not feeling love. But the minute you see this crystal that you've programmed, it holds the space for us when we forget to hold it for ourselves.
That's beautiful.
That's why I like to program things.
I love that. Yeah, I want to program all my crystals.
Yeah.
I want to program with affirmations. I think I have affirmations.
You can.
Okay.
You could do whatever you want. Once again, this is the tool. We are the ones who are guiding how we want to use our tool.
I love it. I love it. And so we have time check. 2 o'clock. So we've been going for an hour? 30 minutes. Okay, cool. So there's this question that I ask everyone. Because my company is Get Loved Up. This is the Get Loved Up podcast. It's all about loving yourself, loving others, and loving the planet. So how do you get loved up?
Wow. Okay. So how I get loved up is that for me, I know that when I'm emitting love, then that's what I'm attracting. And so I want to make sure that my space is clear, that I'm clear, that I'm not holding on to other people's stuff or holding on to baggage that I don't need anymore. So I'm really big about cleansing and purifying. And so I purify my environment a lot. And then I also purify myself a lot, because when I'm in alignment, then I know that my life opens up and things just kind of really manifest quickly.
I love that. And what are some of the ways that you purify?
Okay, so I
can ask her questions forever.
In our book, Crystal Muse, and the reason I like this book is if you are looking for some really great tips. I mean, this is basically a book of like secrets of 25 years of what indigenous people have shared with me, shamans, medicine man. But one of them that I know that this is there's a prayer in this book on page 32 that a medicine man shared with me. And it is so powerful. We've used this for many years, and it's never really been released before until, obviously in this book, he let me reprint it. But people have said that they've literally used this prayer to clean their house, and literally things opened up. So, for example, say somebody's looking for a job, or things aren't just going right. All you have to do is open up the windows, get some sage, and then say this prayer. And it's very simple. It takes less than 5 minutes, and there's not a lot of cost to it, and it kind of opens up the energy field. So, I don't know. Do you want to read it?
Yes, of course. Okay. Of course. Hi. Great Creator, the 4 powers of the universe, and all my relations and good spirits in nature, I come before you in a humble manner and ask for your help. The way I understand it, you put this medicine on the earth from the beginning of creation to help human beings. This medicine is used to purify our mind, body, soul, aura, and environment where I now stand. I therefore ask that you accept this medicine and purify me. I ask that you remove all bad spirits, all bad forces, all ghosts and deceased people, or any evil entities and negative energies. I ask that you remove all fear, pain, and sickness, and do not let them return. Wow.
You have to say, it's like,
that's powerful.
Girl. Yeah, and it's powerful how you said it. I feel like you've said things like this before.
I have a prayer as well, and I believe in prayer.
Yeah.
I believe that meditation is us listening to divine, and prayer is us speaking, and it's not about asking, but just affirming. And I feel like that was very affirmative of asking for these things to be removed, but also affirming these are gone and believing it once it is said, and so it is.
And so it is.
Oh, that's so beautiful. I'm definitely keeping that one with me.
Yeah.
Wow, so beautiful. And so I just have enjoyed every bit of you. And I want to make sure everyone has all the places that they can find you. They have the Crystal Muse book.
Yes.
And your website.
Okay.
And what is that?
Okay, so our website is energymuse.com.
Okay.
And we have beginner starter kits and crystals and very affordable items so that you could start today. And it's super simple. We're all on all the social media outlets. And my personal one is Heather_Askinosie.
That's amazing. Well, thank you so much for joining me again and taking this time. And is there any one little tip or thing that you want to leave with the community?
I just think that, you know what, we as people, humans that are just all here on the planet at this time, we really have, we have so many gifts that everybody has a gift. And we are all here and we are all connected, regardless of our race or who we politically vote for or how much money anyone makes. There's a unity and there's a connection, and we all can heal and we can raise our vibration and we are empowered. We just have to remember that.
That's powerful.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. We do this little thing at the end. We make a heart.
Oh, I love it.
And until next time, you guys, thanks for joining us, and get loved up.